So looking at question number 1 then. The way to think about doing this one, if you wanted to, it's m times m times m times, the other bit is m times m times m times m. Okay? Or in other words, we're timesing m by itself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So it's m to the 7. I think that gets you just 1 mark. Okay? The next one's a bit more complicated because you've got a number in there, you've got the n, and then you've got p cubed of all things. So probably the easiest way is to write that out and see what you got. Okay? Some of you might be able to see what's going on there already, but if in doubt, it's going to be 5n p cubed times 5n p cubed times 5n p cubed. Okay? So that's going to be 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. You are in a calculator paper, so you can, stick it in a calculator if you need to. You've then got n times n times n, so it's n cubed, and you've then got, what is it? It's p cubed times p cubed times p cubed. So that's going to be, similar to what you've just done with your n's, it's going to be p to the 9. So that's what they're after there. For the simplify one down here, we're going to do a kind of similar thing. So we're going to deal with the numbers, then we're going to deal with the Q's, then we're going to deal with the R's. Okay? So numbers-wise, 32 divided by 4. Well, that's just 8. Okay? Q to the 9 divided by Q to the 3. So instead of adding those indices this time, we're going to take them away. Okay? So that's going to be Q to the 6. And similarly, you can't quite see it, R to the 4 divided by R to the 1, that's going to give you R cubed. Lowest common multiple of 40 and 56. First thought with this one is, so lowest common multiple. So we're talking multiples of those things. So is this lowest common multiple, is it going to be a number that's bigger than 40 and 56, or is it going to be smaller? Bigger. It's going to be bigger because we're talking multiples. A couple of ways of doing this one. One way of doing it is for you to just write out some multiples and look for the first one that's in both lists. So you could go 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240, 280, and so on. Okay? You could also then go, and you're in a calculator paper, so you could, on a calculator if you needed to, you could then go, all right, 56, 112, plus 56 gives you 168, plus 56 gives you 224, thank you, 280. You might not have spotted that one, and you might go 336. Okay, and then hopefully you'll take a look back through both lists and go, oh look, 180 is the first number that's in both lists. Okay, 280. So 280 is the first number in both lists. Another way, perhaps a more formal way, is that you can do your factor trees. I assume you've heard of factor trees? So factor trees, you're going to go 40, does it divide by 2? Yes. 20. Does it divide by 2? Yes. 10. Does it divide by 2? Yes. 5. That's also a prime number, so I'm going to stop there. Okay. Repeat for 56. 56 divided by 2? Yes. 28. Does it divide by 2? Yes. 14. Does it divide by 2? Yes, and I get 7. If it didn't divide by 2, I'd then think, okay, does it divide by 3? Does it divide by 5? And go through those prime numbers. 40 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. 56 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. And then what we do is we pair up whatever we can. So I'm pairing up all of those. Those ones don't pair up. For the highest common multiple, it's then a case of you take one from each pair and any of the other numbers that's left there. Okay? So I think our lowest common multiple should then be, we know it's 280 because we did it the other way around, 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 7. I think, does that make our... It does make our 280. It does. Okay? If you wanted your highest common factor, then what you do, you would take those other ones, it's the other ones. Okay, so the highest common factor of those two numbers is going to be 8. Part B, write down the highest common factor this time. So this is us pairing up everything that's there and taking one from each of those pairs. To do that, it's probably going to be easier to write those out. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. B is going to be 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. So what pairs up there? That one pairs up, that one pairs up, that one pairs up, and that one pairs up. So the highest common factor is going to be 2 times 2 times 3 times 5, which is 16. Question number 3. Find an equation for a line. Y equals mx plus c. M is the gradient. What's c then? Y-intercept. Okay, good. Y-intercept. Okay. Just a quick look at the line. Is that line, is it positive gradient or negative gradient? Positive. It's positive. So as we read from left to right, this line's going upwards. Okay. For every one that we go across, looks like we're going up 3. So the gradient, in our case, is going to be 3. Okay? What's the y-intercept here then? Y-intercept? Minus 6. There's our y-intercept down there. So with that information, we can then write down our equation of the line. Y equals 3x minus 6. Question number 4. I think we need calculators out for this one. So Rhea buys a van for 8,500 plus VAT, which is charged at 20%. So before you even read anything further, you probably want to work out how much. So how much does she pay for the van in total? Well, 20% of 8,500 is going to be 20 over 100 times by 8,500. Okay, that is going to be 8,500 times 0.2, which is 1,700. Okay, that's the VAT. So 8,500 plus 1,700 gives us 10,200. That's how much she paid for the van in total. Okay, there is a quick way of getting to that. If you want to add on 20%, you can just take your 8,500 and times by 1.2. Okay, that gets you to the 10,200. She then pays the rest of the cost in 12 equal payments of that much. Oh, okay, so there's something else we can do already. I wonder how much that lot came to. £531.25. So times that by 12 to £6,375. Oh, so the deposit must be the remainder. So 10,200 take away 6,375. 10,200 take away 6,375 gives you 3,825. Are you happy there? That's the deposit. I've not really read the question yet. Find the ratio of the deposit to the total of the payments. Simplest form. Deposit is 3,825. Total payments were 6,375. How are we going to cancel that down? You could divide by 5. Does that get it all the way down? Okay, 3,825 divided by 5 gives you 765. The other one, 6,375 divided by 5, is 1,275. Divide by 5 again, you say? Yeah. 255 over there. 765 divided by 5 gives you 153. On your calculators, there should be a button which has got that sort of symbol on it. So if I type into my calculator 3,825 over 6,375, it cancels it all the way down for me. It goes all the way down to 3/5. Oh, question number 5. So complete the table of values. Having done that, we're going to then try and draw a graph. Having done that, we've then got to do this part C, whatever that is. Right, so table of values. You know what? I'm going to do the easy ones first. So I'm going to come back for those negative ones once I've done the easy ones. So x is equal to 1. 1 squared is going to be 1. Take away 1. Take away 6. So that gives me minus 6. Okay. X is equal to 2. 2 squared is 4. Take away 2. take away 6 gives me minus 4, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, x is equal to 3. 3 squared is 9. Take away 3, take away 6, I get big fat 0. Okay, right, x is equal to minus 1. Minus 1 times minus 1, so minus 1 squared is 1. Take away minus 1, so that's actually an add 1. Take away 6 gets me to minus 4. Okay, x is equal to minus 2. Minus 2 squared is 4. Minus minus 2, so add 2. Take away 6. If I fill in this last value, it's 0, wasn't it? Okay, did anyone spot that these numbers, check there, minus 6, minus 4, 0, minus 6, minus 4, 0, okay, with a 6 on the end.
It's a mirror.
It's exactly, it's symmetrical. Then when it comes to the graph, so you've got x values, y values, so the first x and y coordinate, minus 3, 6, up there. Minus 2, 0, here. Minus 1, minus 4. 0, minus 6. 1, minus 6. 2, minus 4. 3, 0. You've got it. Do not do a straight line down the bottom there. Okay? We're after nice, smooth curve. Definitely going beneath minus 6. Okay? Nice, smooth curve. Last bit on that question, so this is a bit more complicated. Use your graph to find estimates of the solutions to the equation. It's where that graph crosses that graph. So the graph of y equals x squared minus x minus 6, where does it cross the graph of y equals minus 2? So what they want from you there is to draw a line minus 2 in, and then to read off those values there and there. So I'm going to say that's probably what, minus 1.7, and this one up here is probably about 2.7, something like that. So question 6, this is almost like science on this one. A force of 70 newtons acts on an area of 20 centimetres squared, and we're told that pressure is force divided by area. So I guess the pressure here is going to be 70 divided by 20, which gives you a number of 3.5. I knew that one. The force is increased by 10. So what's the force going to go up to?
80.
Okay. The force is 80. The pressure is 30. 8 divided by 3 gives you a figure of 2.666 recurring. Okay. She says the pressure decreases by less than 20%. Is she correct? How do we know? Okay, so what is 20% of that? Or rather, what's that figure once we've taken 20% off? Well, if we take 20% off, we've got 80% left. So I'm going to take my 3.5 and times it by 0.8. That tells me what 80% is worth. Okay, so 3.5 times 0.8. If it did decrease by 20%, it would go down by all the way down to 2.8.
Which is just
okay. Which, has it gone down by more than that or down by less than that?
more than that.
Okay, so the pressure has decreased by more than 20%. Okay? Decrease by more than 20%. Because 20% would have it go down to 2.8. Anything less than that would be, you'd get more than 2.8 left. This one's gone all the way down to 2.66666. Question 7. Can you see there's that little cross there? Everything is a third of the way of the distance away from that. So that point there used to be 3 diagonals away. Now it's going to be just 1 diagonal away. Okay? The shape used to be 3 diagonals along, so now it's just going to be 1. So, excuse me, the shape's going to start there. Instead of being 3 up, it's going to be 1 up, 3 across. So that's where we want to see it. Okay? Question number 8. It was all about just arranging that information. 60 people asked if they prefer to go on holiday in Britain, Spain or Italy. Britain, Spain, Italy. Some of them were male, some of them were female. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to do totals. Okay. There, and I've got my totals columns as well. So what have we got? 60 people in total. Okay. 38 of them were male, which leaves 22 being female. Okay. 11 of the 32 people who said Britain were female. So 32 people said Britain, 11 were female, which leaves 21 there. Yes. 8 males said Italy, so 8 males went there. Hang on. So 38, that total, take away 21, take away 8. That now means that 9 goes in there. Okay. 12 people said Spain. 12 goes in there. So 9 and 3 makes 12. Got to make 22. I've got 14, so I need another 8 there, which makes 16 goes in there. You're in the exam. Don't chance it. I would do a check. Does 32 plus 12 plus 16, does that in fact add up to 60 along the bottom there? Yes, it does. Okay. At this point, you've done all the hard work. Answering the question is easy. One of the females is chosen at random. What's the probability that this female said Spain? So we're choosing from 22. How many of our females said Spain? 3 out of 22. Is it out of 60 or is it out of 22? So we're saying one of the females. So we're choosing from the females. So, yeah. Question 9. Jean invests £12,000 in an account paying compound interest for 2 years. In the first year, the rate of interest is, well, we're not told. At the end of the first year, she's got that much money, okay? What we can do is to do 12,336 divided by 12,000, okay? If we do that, 12,336 divided by 12,000, it's going to give a decimal number, which is 1.028, okay? That number on the end there, 0.028, is 2.8%. That's the money that got added into her account. So the interest rate in the first year was 2.8%. Okay? In the second year, the interest rate was half of that. So half of that is 1.4%. What's the value of Jean's investment at the end of the 2 years? So we've used the value at the end of the first year to work out what the interest rate was, and then to work out the interest rate in the second year as well. So all we've got to do now is to take that money as it was at the end of the first year and add on this money, the extra interest from the second year. The easy way to do that is to times it by 101.4%. Okay, 101.4% as a decimal is that number there. Okay, if you want to do it the long way around and go, I'm going to find out what 1.4% is and then add it on, that's all going to be fine. Okay, 12,336 times 1.014 gives you a value of £12,508.70. Okay.